Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you haven't already, please put your name and contact information in the chat. We are going to record this presentation today, so it will be available on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to add it to the chat and we will address it during the Q&A portion of the event. Without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. Today, we're going to learn about creating a virtual work environment from our amazing ladies at Thrive, Victoria Vasile and Mary Zaleski. Go ahead, girls, jump right in.
All right. Excellent. So Victoria's going to share her screen over here. Really what we want to do is we want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity. And then what we wanted to do is to explain a little bit about our company, but we want to actually take you through how sort of the internet works and what you guys might be doing and what you might not be doing.
Can you see my screen, or is it like
it's
the
weird.
Black one? Okay, sorry, hold on 1 second, guys.
Okay.
If you're working with two screens, you have to share the other one.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. Okay.
And there's Ralph with his fun fact of the day.
Yeah, put it in. There you go. I think that one's gonna.
Okay, great. All right, go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so we just wanted to, say thank you for giving us this opportunity, and we're going to explain a little bit about how working in the contactless world. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys some fun facts, and we really love this to be a little bit interacting. So please chat. We're going to ask a couple of questions. So the first thing that we want to talk about is what is happening right now on the internet in 1 minute. And a couple of things that really stand out to Victoria and I are when you look at Facebook, all right, in 1 minute, there's 1.4 million people scrolling on Facebook. YouTube, 500 hours. Now, WhatsApp is really crazy because there's 21 million people on WhatsApp at one time. But the other things that I want you guys to look at is Instagram, Twitter, and then the other one, and this one seems to have come up more so, is the smart audio devices, your Amazon Echoes, and everything that we're talking into these days.
So in the same way that your business, you know what it is that you do, where you do it, you want to make sure that all of that information is crystal clear when you start to build a virtual work approach, because it's important that you highlight each and every category service that your business does and make sure that you're putting it out there. And you also want to have consistent information everywhere. So that's your name, your address, your telephone number, contact information, your logo, and everything that you do online. So once you have your, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mary.
One of the things that's very, very important that we try to tell everybody too is NAP, and everybody can remember this. Your name, your address, and phone number has to be consistently put out there online. So that's why we want to talk about, building that roadmap for you. Go ahead, Victoria.
Absolutely, absolutely. And once you have that, your website becomes more of a weapon versus just being floating out there and hoping that people find it. And it becomes that you become the clear choice on Google. You want to become a competitor. You want to become a leader in your category and in the service areas that you work. So if you guys can, if you could write in the chat, how do you personally find things nowadays? Like whether it's a contractor to come to your home or to your business, somebody to watch your dog. How many people are going to Google versus maybe looking on social media? We're just curious to see a little bit about how people are searching in our group.
Is it more on Google? Is it more on Facebook? Which way? And the reason that we ask you is because in this virtual world that we're living in, it's sort of, you need to be in as many places where people are searching. So people are searching on Google, we know that, but as you just saw in that first slide that we showed, how many people are actually on Facebook right now?
Okay, we have a couple of answers. Google, always Google, and a little bit on Facebook. So yeah, that gives us a crystal clear idea of where we really need to align your traffic with your business. And being that everybody or a lot of people are searching on Google, it really is important nowadays that you represent yourself online to the best of your ability. A lot of businesses and even the businesses that we're in, right? We're working from home, we're a virtual business. So having that representation online is super duper important. And if you don't have a website that you're really using as like a lead generating tool and something that's going to make you stand out from your competition, then you're really just wasting your efforts. So a lot of people say to us, I don't need a website. I've been in business for 20 years. I get all my business from referrals. I pay for leads. There's a lot of reasons why people need websites, and even businesses that have been in business for all those years need websites. There's always new people moving into the area, new competition coming into the area, and you want to make sure that you're putting your business in that limelight that it needs to be in.
So one of the things that we look at is not only does your website need to look pretty, all right, but how does Google recognize it? What is the story on the back end of it? This just happens to be a landscaper out of the Pittsburgh area. And if you notice, the name of the business is Eichenlaub Landscape. So the question is how are people searching? Would somebody search for that name? Or would somebody search for landscaper? How are Google, Yahoo, and Bing actually reading and seeing your website is really what's important.
So if you have a website, do you have a Google My Business that it's attached to? Google My Business profiles look like this on the right side here. Has your name, your address, your phone number. If people leave you any reviews, directions to your site. And now that something that's coming and trending is questions and answers. So being able to put questions on there with answers that people will find relevant to your business. Anything that Google puts out there, you want to make sure that you as a business owner is utilizing that, because Google loves themselves, nothing more than themselves. So there's a lot of opportunities. We're going to get into it a little bit in this presentation for you to align yourself in the way that Google sees fit, and that it's going to make you the choice versus somebody else. So being on Google, we all know it's important. You guys all said that in the chat. There's a lot of different searches that are going on Google, even in this like 1 millisecond that we're talking here, right? So it's important that you're on Google. Now, in the chat, if everybody can, just put in there if you have a Google My Business page, how often are you asking for reviews? Do you have a Google My Business page at all? Do you need help? That's what we're here for to discuss today. So if anybody wants to just put that in the chat, that would be great. One thing, we have the chamber right here. Yep, the chamber has a My Business page, exactly. So they have their website, direction.
Oh, Victoria, she's saying that the chamber has her business page, I think is what she's saying. Is that what she's saying? No, you have your own, Denise? Okay. So what we're looking here, though, is at the chambers, all right, and this is one thing that I always talk to you guys about almost at every meeting is about the reviews. So if you look at it, you have, right now we have 14 Google reviews, all right? Now, what happens is, thanks, Phil, when you look at it, it says that it's a chamber of commerce, all right, in Toms River, and that's very, very important. So you all need to look at your Google My Businesses and see what information is out there, because this is what Google picks up. It's important whether or not that you are an environmental company or you're an appliance company. Do you have, as an appliance company, do you have appliance repair, appliance store? Do you have a stove place, a refrigerator place? All of those, and all of that information comes up. And Victoria, next slide, I think. There we go.
Yep. So when you go into your Google My Business profile, there's a lot of different things in here that Google wants to see filled out. This is one of a glass contractor that we work with. And as Mary was saying, there's all different categories that you can choose to be a part of. So for this particular person, they have glass and mirror, shower door shop, glass repair service, right? We're talking about that roadmap that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. You want to make sure that every piece of your business is crystal clear and your idea is crystal clear and where you want to be is crystal clear, because once you put that into Google, it starts opening you up to more things. So they know that they want to do all these services. A lot of people that we work with, they don't have these services filled out. There's even some businesses that are being misrepresented, or they're not representing all their services. So if this is something that you guys haven't looked at before, you can even ask us after the call. We'd be happy to show you a couple of different categories that would fit your business that align with what Google has to offer. So that way you're maximizing the most out of this piece of the business profile. Oops, sorry, wait, going back. Another important information piece here that you want to make sure that you're putting into Google is your service areas. So a lot of us are in the Ocean County Chamber of Commerce. Do you want to go outside of Ocean County? Do you only want to stay within a 10 to 15 mile radius of where you are? If you don't have these service areas filled out, you should definitely fill them out. It's really simple. Google makes it so easy. You just click on these little pencils here and you add it in. Or of course you could ask me and Mary, we'd be happy to help you on a one-on-one basis.
I think too is like, let's talk about the chamber just a little bit. I'm going to go back to that one, that screen. So does the chamber have in that service areas, do we have Tom's River? Do we have Brick? Do we have Bayville? Do we have Seaside Heights? I think that's something, Danielle, that you might want to go back and look at and just see what you guys have in more of the service areas, because now like the Greater Tom's River Chamber is going to pull up a lot more. So it's just something that very, very easily to do. And again, Victoria and I do this all day long for people and would be happy to help you guys and even do a live one if you guys wanted us to show you how to go after we do our presentation. We'll see how long the time is. But So the other question is not only Google, all right? What ends up happening is when you go onto Google, how does somebody find your name, all right? And what ends up happening is we're going to show you to the very, very basic of how the internet works. But all these sites are out there right now. People are out on Snapchat. They are out on Yelp. They are out on all of these voices. How does your name appear on them correctly? Again, NAP, name, address, phone number, should be correct on every single one of these.
Absolutely. And, it lends to the piece like that you might be missing an opportunity by not being on Apple or not being on MapQuest or one of those other services. So you want to make sure that your business is listed consistently across everywhere. And the thing is that Google actually has to get their information from somewhere. So what they do is they spider out onto the internet and they take a feel to see who has that consistent name, address, phone number, who has the best reviews that are out there. Now we're going to give everybody that list in a nice, easy to read, clean fashion, because why do we all go to Google? We all go to Google because we get a great experience every single time. We have a joke and it's pretty funny. So Mary and I like to ask people, where do you hide a dead body on Google? Any answers, you can throw them in the chat. But we like to say you can hide a dead body on page 2 because nobody's going there. Everybody finds what they're looking for, usually on the first page. So that's why that real estate on the first page, that market share, whether you're doing ads, you're in the map section, or you're showing up organically, or you're on one of those directory sites, that's the way that Google presents their information. A lot of these directory sites also happen to show up on the first page of Google. So when you have a partnership with one of them, you have more opportunity and more market share to take up that first page real estate that everybody is just really vying to get. So it's important that all of those sites have that information, the name, address, phone number that's consistently listed. So you might say, go ahead, Mary, sorry.
Look, I'm sorry, if we go back and forth. So, but if you look, this is just, we're looking for, a photographer, a baby photographer. And if you look at the highlighted portion of it's Yelp and Yelp. So what happens is there's Yelp pulling out the information. If you look on the left side, there's what we have is your map section. And we want to make sure that the map section, again, name, address, phone number.
Absolutely. And so when you're looking at that first page of Google, we said that there's an opportunity to take up some market share. The first piece of Google is that ad section, right? That's at the top of the screen. A lot of us see that and you might not even be able to tell it's an ad unless you see this little green ad box right here. But those are the places that people are actually paying to be there. Their website might not organically appear for that keyword. So they're paying and renting that space up there. The map section is our local people who is, closest in relative distance to us, who has some good reviews. That's the people that Google is going to be putting into that map section. And then here is the organic section. This is the place that a lot of people try for a long time. You might have heard of search engine optimization. This is that section where you want to be in the organic section. A lot of traffic. A lot of people trust the organic section because it's mostly local people versus anybody who could pay to, be at the top of the Google screen. And then here's where our directory sites also are. Sites like Yelp, sites like yellowpages.com, sites like betterbusinessbureau.com. Those, we call them smaller search engines. Those have a lot of relevancy on Google because people can also leave reviews on those as well. So when Yelp puts this title in there, the best 10 tree services, Google thinks that's a good way, to rank that page because people go to Google. Why? Because they want a good experience. So having them lead to Yelp, having them lead to the contractors, these business owners, these businesses that are listed here with the good reviews is very, very important to Google.
And one of the reasons why we're showing you that is would you rather rent or would you rather own the space? And again, here we talk about search engine marketing, which is a pay-per-click campaign, or search engine optimization. The question is would you rather rent a beach house for a week, all right, or would you rather own the beach house? So here we go, we're going to rent that house where we only have a certain budget, and these budgets these days on these beach houses, they could be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week, and we all know that. So, but once that budget is gone, then your name doesn't appear so much. But in the organic section of it, you are now owning that space below the map. All right, is everybody understanding that? So we want to make sure that and again, we're just trying to teach you right here a little bit today so you can understand how the internet works, how it is in a virtual world, and what the way and how we might be able to help you or might not. We just want to teach you today too.
And the difference between that renting and buying, search engine optimization is an investment, right? But it's an investment, basically, I like to call it an insurance policy, that you're going to be there for that keyword search, for that really, really high ROI service that you have as a business in the area that you want to be found in. So if it's important for you to be a web designer that's in Toms River, having that back end optimization to make sure that all of your keywords are showing up for the location that you want to be in, that is going to make your business versus somebody that's located on the second, third, fourth, fifth page of Google where nobody's going to. So the SEO portion, optimizing your website or making sure that that piece is done is going to really result in changing the way that your business operates. I mean, there's no doubt about it because so many people are going to Google and it's a long-term investment, but the reward is just 20 times the traffic opportunity.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about social media. And it's pretty crazy because if you just look at these statistics, 2008, 10% of the population in America had a social media profile. Today, there is 79%. That means that almost 8 out of 10 people are on social media. So the question is what are you doing to promote yourself on social media? Here are the widely used platforms. So very, very interesting. YouTube, all right? And I think that it's also interesting that the chamber is saying, hey, listen, these videos are going to be on where? They told us they're going to be on YouTube. And why is that? 81% of adults use YouTube. All right. 69% are using Facebook. And I think this is crazy. Like these are numbers that people are out here that you are actually looking at. And it's just, there are a lot of people who are on these different sites. Very, very important. So the question again becomes, where are you putting your business?
and definitely making those channels count. And something that, is like newer statistical information, but due to everything that we've been going through with the COVID-19 pandemic, people are using social media now more than ever, like growing 4% in, just 2 years. That's really staggering information. I mean, we always thought we were staring at the phone, but people really are staring at the phone, especially now. And, no wonder TikTok became a global sensation. Right now, we see everybody doing those trendy dances and, just seeing how they could get some more views, becoming, everybody wants to go viral these days. And I think as business owners, we all want the same for our business locally. So how is it that we get that content and put that content out there that is, good content, that's educational content, that's not some generic content? I think that's why TikTok has been so successful lately, is because it's like allowing a light to shine on your personality and your business personality. So if you have more of that organic interaction, the day-to-day on the job site type of content that people get a chance and a glimmer to see what it might look like on your job site, what it is that you're doing that makes you stand out from your competition. You want to show your authenticity there. You want to make sure that people are getting a good glimpse of you making, just doing what you do, and it shows your passion and it shows your consistency, that you're not just a business that's fly by night, that you're here to stay. So you want to make sure that the content that you're putting out there is relevant, and it's, I think the chamber does a really nice job of it too. When, I always see Danielle, like, sneakily during Member Connect popping pictures, and, but it's good that you're putting that out there and you're seeing people's faces, and people then can share it, like it, and, that just keeps that organic growth going.
So there's a couple of different things on Facebook, and I'm sure that most of you guys are doing this, but if you're not, this is something that somebody is searching for an environmentalist, all right? Somebody is searching for a videographer, all right? So we're going to look at this. We type in videographer into Facebook, and what ends up happening, you have wedding videographer, then you have just regular videographers. So the question is are you in any of these groups that are out there? Are you putting your name out onto Facebook so people can find you? Because again, people search everywhere today and they want to find a local business near them.
Absolutely. Yeah. The groups on Facebook are great. The marketplace on Facebook is great. There's so many opportunities for you to get yourself out there. This is an example of what Facebook Marketplace looks like. Now you can also do service-based listings off Facebook Marketplace. If you guys have any questions, please ask us. We'll be happy to help show you how to do something like this. But you'd be really surprised how much action you get, and even like in local groups. So if you're in the Toms River area and you're not in, Toms River community groups, all different types of questions are being posed in these groups. Who can I use for my gutters? Who can I use for my roof? So many people, and I'm sure everybody's seen it here, they tag another business, or they tag a person, hey, you can help this person, or, there's just so many different opportunities, and it's really a great place to be a part of and to get leads that might not cost you too much, but you're talking to people constantly. So that's what we want to do, is make sure we're putting you in that limelight, so that way people who are searching for you in those local areas are finding you. And then, not sure how many people are using Instagram or really utilizing Instagram for everything that it's worth. But people are searching on there as well. And we like to talk a little bit about Instagram hashtags.
So one of the things about hashtags is, and I think this will help everybody's business, is how many times are we hashtagging GTRCC? Because what that does is, because we're all a part of it, the chamber is going to have probably a lot more followers than most of us individually, all right? So what happens is, if you actually can take advantage of the chamber because you're a member or a future member, then what happens is those hashtags help you. What happens is, though, is you want to promote your business a little bit. These ones here are the top 10. So it's love, Instagood, fashion, photo of the day, beautiful. So some of these keywords you may want to put into your posts, whether it's, when you're doing something on Instagram. Because now what happens is people just go out there and they look up hashtag happy and who is happy out there. And maybe you put a happy post out there, or the chamber puts in hashtag happy into one of their posts. Now what's happening is more and more people have the opportunity to find you.
And if you're not doing any Facebook ads, you might be missing the mark there as well. Why should you advertise your business on Facebook? It gets out to more people than just your followers. So if your business doesn't have a lot of followers, maybe doing something like a boosted post or an ad campaign through Facebook, you can actually target specific demographics of people that have certain interests. So if they're a business owner, if you want to target business owners, if you want to target real estate people, if you want to target, just men or just women, Facebook gives you a lot of detail that you can really drill down and find that person for your business. And it's not as expensive as being on Google for the most part. Google is going to be your most expensive lead. And there's so many different baskets that you can put your eggs in online that, Facebook advertising and doing, a little boosted post every once in a while is really a good idea for your business, just to get out to more people and to show off everything that you do. So a lot of people also, we want to see how often you're posting. If you're not posting a lot and then you do a boosted post, that could be a little strange, because then people might see, oh, their last post wasn't for 3 years ago. What have they been doing in 3 years? So we want to make sure that you guys are staying top of mind, because when you're not posting, you're out of sight, you're out of mind.
So how often should you post? All right. Statistical information gives us that you want to post at least 3 times a week, all right, on Facebook, suggesting once a day, and 2 times a day is right in between. All right. So, we say it's high, but you don't really want to, because people want to hear from you, but they don't really want to hear from you every single day.
They want that quality content. If they're going to hear from you, you got to make it worth their while. And when they see funny videos from TikTok, that they see, you guys doing a funny dance, or if they see you out on a job site, or, how you decorated for the holidays, that's the type of content. Enriching good quality educational content is what people want to see. And then Instagram is a little bit different. They suggest that you post 1 to 2 times a day, which I would definitely agree with. 3 might even be too many, but if you're posting on Instagram, once a day, even if it's, 2-3 times a week, we'd rather see you put something out there than nothing. So don't get intimidated when you see 2 times from nothing. Just do what you can, but, try and make those posts worthwhile with good quality content.
I think the pictures too, again, I'm going to come back to the chamber of you guys taking pictures of all of us at the event. I think that's wonderful. People they don't really like to see themselves, but they do like to see themselves. And like, oh yeah, did I get in that picture from this morning? So, and I think that's very good what you guys do.
Definitely. And in addition to that, one way that we could step it up would be, with a little YouTube channel. There's no difference in just snapping a picture versus taking a real quick little panoramic shot and just saying with like a selfie, hey, this is Phil, I'm the president of the Greater Toms River Chamber of Commerce. Check us out. This is this Friday morning from Member Connect. So putting yourself onto YouTube, we also learned about how many people are really utilizing YouTube and how much time people are spending on YouTube every single day. So if your business is not yet on YouTube, it's very simple to get yourself on there, especially if you have a cell phone. All you have to do is download the YouTube app, and you can actually just upload straight from your phone. It makes it so easy. And there's a lot of different people that are using YouTube in every single age category. My Poppy is 86 years old. He does everything off of YouTube. He has his iPad. He knows what he's doing. So there's all different, not just kids are on YouTube nowadays. You do a search for a local plumber, you do a search for a tree service removal, you'll find all of these local businesses that are putting content out there on YouTube. Another thing that Google loves is YouTube. So when you put these YouTube links onto your website, you're also raising the relevancy for a chance to show up. So our recommendation, because we hope everybody will leave here and try and do one thing. So if you try and do YouTube, it's super simple. Just download the app, you upload a video from your phone, And a really great way to optimize your experience and your exposure on YouTube is to put in a title that makes sense, right? We learned about search engine optimization. Is it smarter to have just Pittsburgh landscaper or Pittsburgh landscaper, tree service removal, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as a title of a video? We want to make sure that those keywords match the type of search that we think that our consumer would be searching for. And then of course, put a little description in there, making sure that you're also using that keyword heavy type of language. And then you could also put in tags, just the same way that you can with Instagram, you can do that with YouTube. So making sure that you put that good content up there is going to be really important. And there's all different types of social media, right? Pinterest is not for every business owner, and it's not for every type of business. YouTube is pretty universal. You can do YouTube with anything. You know, we want to make sure that you guys are really optimizing the proper channels that's going to make sense for your business. Now, we wanted to see how many people, if you can, just put in the chat, how many people are actively asking for reviews after every service. Or I know, Lisa, you were saying yesterday at Coffee and Conversations that your clients are super happy. Like, did you then send them a request for a review, or did you ask them? If you want to just put that in the chat, let us know, because those are the best types of reviews that you can get. And a lot of days nowadays, everybody is really looking into what people are saying about your business online. So it's important that as a business owner, you're asking for those reviews and people are leaving them, even if you have to offer a little bit of an incentive to get it, right? But who would you choose? Would you choose, this is two electricians from Cape May County. Would you choose the guy with 1 Google review that's 1 star? Or would you choose the guy that has 23 Google reviews?
You know what'd be cool too, guys, is we just search. You know, you can search for anything out there online, and I think that you guys would agree. I mean, we took off the people's names, but all we did was type in, you know, electrical service in Cape May, and again, who would you choose? And I think we're all going to pick the guy on the right because he has 23.
Exactly. So if you're, you know, your clients are happy, then it's the time to send them that request for that review. And it's important that you make it simple for them to leave that review. And that kind of leads us to, how do our bigger brand, big box stores, like non-local, all national companies, how do they continue to get after us? Like if you have gone to get an oil change from like a bigger box type of store, usually they'll send you a automated receipt. Please leave us a review. They make it super easy. And how do they continue to do that, right? They send us birthday messages, they send us thank yous, maybe promotion deals. They continue to do that because they get data from us. They collect data, and that's what they're really, really good at. And we want to make sure that you guys also have those tools, so that way you can also stay in touch and continue to build relationships with your clients the same way that these bigger box stores are doing, you know, to us.
So one of the things that then happens is, where does all that data go? All right. We like to say that it's less expensive to keep a customer than it is to get a new one. And I think that everybody would agree on that. So where do you keep all of that information right now? Are you doing any email marketing? Are you doing anything that is keeping your business on top of their mind? Have you wished everybody a happy Thanksgiving recently? Have you sent them a thank you for doing business with you? Have you followed them on social media? You know, very, very simple. And are they following you on you? So I think that takes us to the next step. All right, Victoria, next page.
Oh, you're good?
Yeah, okay. So it's going to be 2022, and what we want to say is, you don't want to be left behind. You need to have the data. You need to be able to retain those customers. You need to have all of that acquisition right there is at the palm of your hand. So we want to make sure that you make it a digital relationship. Again, most of us are working from home. We go out, all right, but everything today is 95% digital. So all of these people now come into what is called our CRM.
And it's
Right.
important to keep that relationship, right? Because we don't want people to escape out the back door. We're paying money to get all these leads to our businesses. And what you need to do is you need to just keep that relationship going. It doesn't just stop at that one service. Have you reached out to them to say thank you, to get that review, to follow you on social media? Have you reached out to them to wish them a happy Thanksgiving? You know, how many people have sent out that message to keep in contact? Are you doing a monthly type of newsletter that you might be sending to clients or to new clients, prospective clients, existing clients? You know, how are you staying in touch with people to let them know all the other services that you might provide that they might need? So, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mary.
So now we come to what our product is. All right. We've taught you a little bit of how the internet works, what the plans are for you to be out there, all the social media, the Google. So now we take you to what our software actually looks like. All right. This is basically our dashboard that just shows a little bit on the left, shows you products or different items that you can do. And then we're going to go into this, and I know we have like 5 minutes, so we're going to go over this a little bit fast. We wanted to teach you more, and then what we're going to do is show you how our dashboard works.
So basically, all our clients load their clients into our Thrive software. And what's really cool is that your website or any website or our website can hook into the Thrive software. So that way, anytime that you're getting a contact us form or subscribing to your mailing information, all of those folks actually then get saved into our customer relationship management system, right? So that way you have all of their information to continue to build that relationship. Our software also has an inbox, so you can stay in touch with people to confirm that you're coming. Scheduling for messaging back and forth, they can message you. You could send them estimates and invoices. They could pay. They could do so much to stay in touch with our software with the inbox. And then it also helps manage your social media. So in the one click, you can actually post out to Facebook, to Twitter, Google My Business, LinkedIn, and Instagram in just one shot. And you could also plan and manage your social media for the upcoming month, day, year, anything that you would like to, you know, pre-plan for, which is a lot of what we recommend.
That particular client was doing it twice a month, and then what ends up happening is we ask you to, you know, build relationship, ask for referrals. One of our clients is the headliner, all right, in Monmouth County. He sends out birthdays at the first of the month to everybody to, hey, listen, here's a free drink. But then we have this other client who is actually asking for Google reviews, all right, or for a referral, all right. So, hey, listen, we've already asked, you've already used our business. Can you leave us a Google review? All right. And then the statistical information, it shows how many people have actually clicked on it, how many people have opened it, and how many people have actually engaged with you. This is all part of the software program.
And then it also helps you stay in touch with emails or texts. So you could send out that happy holidays or happy new year, just to stay top of mind and, you know, top of thought with these potential consumers that you know, maybe you did an estimate and it didn't work out, or they weren't ready at the time. Maybe by just sending that one email that puts you into their realm without aggressively asking, hey, I talked to you 5 months ago. I never heard back. What's going on? It gives you a little bit more of an excuse because you're building that relationship with them. And I know that we're probably like right out of time, but we just wanted to thank everybody for joining us. And if you have any questions about anything we talked about, Google, your website, you know, your social media, if you're interested in a free analysis or a demo of our software, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to give you a free consultation.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, okay. So my questions would be, is it better, all right, TikTok for business? So I've been, Denise and I are like cringy about TikTok and like, should we do it? You know, I don't know if I have the personality to do TikTok. What are your thoughts on like TikTok for our chamber and what do you think? Tell me.
I think that you can make it kind of a little bit different format if you're not comfortable being the one behind the screen. Maybe you do it as something like a TikTok challenge, like to all of our members. Hey, you know, we're going to feature all of the TikToks on our Instagram story and vote for the best one. You can kind of make it into something that people are, and you can say hashtag Greater Toms River Chamber or tag us in your post on Instagram or on Facebook or on LinkedIn. So that way you can also grow kind of organically through our chamber members' profiles and their followers.
Okay.
And then you can kind of feature that on your Instagram, your Facebook, and also throw a little subtle shout out to that, business. Hey, this is one of the businesses we work with.
Phil's brutal, man. He is brutal.
Well, maybe I will do TikTok and it'll be just starring our chairman. Maybe that's what it'll be. I'll just make Phil do it.
That could be cool.
Okay, so and then YouTube versus like Instagram stories. So I know Lisa had said like you could do YouTube shorts and whatever. And is there a difference between as far as getting yourself noticed, Instagram stories versus like YouTube? Typically we use YouTube to add like our member spotlight videos and our strategies for success, and we kind of stay away from YouTube if it's like a shorter thing. I don't know, I never really thought to utilize YouTube that way. So what are your thoughts versus Instagram stories versus YouTube?
I think they're both like.
I think both. Yep, I agree. I'm gonna say the same thing.
Instagram story, and I'm sure you have it turned on so that it turns on to your Facebook story as well.
Yeah.
I think those are important just alone by themselves, because a lot of people nowadays are too lazy to even scroll.
Right.
Scroll through their feed, that they just watch stories the whole time. So you want to make sure that you're lining yourself up in that light. And then YouTube is just separate and important on its own, I would say. What do you think about YouTube, Mary?
I think both. I mean, I think they're putting, we're putting things on YouTube, which is great, but I really think that you're right. The stories on Instagram are a good thing for the chamber.
Okay. And then we do use our hashtags. We always use our WeRTR. We always use GTRCC. We encourage all of our members to use those hashtags as well. Part of our task management throughout the year for our members is to give Google reviews for our members. So that's something that we do for our members throughout the year. But we don't ask for reviews because the chamber in itself is here to basically give instead of take, is always how I look at the chamber. So anybody, so I love that you guys always promote reviewing the chamber, because it's something that we typically don't ask for ourselves. So thank you for doing that. And then I had one other thing. No, I think that's it. Thank you.
A lot of business owners feel funny asking for reviews, even though and do the same thing. We all have a great experience at the chamber. Everybody pretty much leaves with a smile on their face. And you guys are a business too. And of course, your goal, right, is to get as many new members as we possibly can and put on these great events. So we want to make sure, and Chamber of Commerce, you have yourselves labeled there correctly. It's a category for a reason. People are searching that. So I think we can don't feel like a certain type of way to push for reviews. I think that people would be more than happy to leave you a review, and you guys do such a good job of, keeping up with the newsletters, the upcoming events. We're getting emails from you all the time. And I think if you did a review generation type of an email that just made it super simple, click here to leave us a Google review, we would really appreciate it. We want to grow our chamber and get that word of mouth out to as many people as we possibly can. We would appreciate it if you just leave a few words about your experience with the chamber.
Okay.
And I think you'd be shocked how many people will leave reviews.
Okay.
You just have to make it easy for them. That's the whole thing, is people don't want to do things on their own. So that's why when you guys send out these emails, hey, just make sure that you put your Google link onto it where it can be left right there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anybody have any other questions?
I have a testimonial.
Okay, do it.
They're fantastic. I will tell you, in, I don't know, 30 plus years of owning a business, I have never worked with a company and their representatives who are, outside of Ralph Wolf, of course, who are as attentive, as responsive, as on top of everything. So I signed on with Thrive. You know, really my thoughts were, I was, one, I'm reducing some of my costs I was spending, but also taking stuff out of my hands relative to social media. And, you know, it has been an unbelievable experience. The onboarding experience, I don't know, I think I'm on like month 4 now. I don't even know. And they come to my office, they're on, I mean, it's weekly, it's daily. I have a call today with somebody I've never met before because they do the onboarding of the onboarding. So I've learned more in the time, and it is a great tool, you know, and to use it for your website, your social media, your tracking of clients, you're getting reviews. And I'm trying to use all of it because I want to make sure I use all of it. It's great. And they're fantastic. They know questions. I'm sorry, they know answers to questions. And if they don't, the experts who come in from Texas or wherever they are in different time zones know the answers. A great, great benefit that they're members of this chamber and great people to work with.
Awesome.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'll take my month free now. No, I'm just kidding.
Any other questions?
I have a
Oh.
question. Oh,
Oh, sure. No, I was just gonna say, Lisa put a great little blurb in there about how to find your Google My Business review link from your profile. If anybody has questions on how to do that, she explained it perfectly.
Awesome. Thank you.
that's perfect. I just wanted to ask about the Q&A on Google because I don't think I looked. I don't think is that just, do we have to add that to our profile or is that automatic? And this is how we can communicate with people. If they search us, they can ask a question and we could answer right there. Do we have that, Danielle? I don't.
It might be on the inside of your profile where it says
Okay.
like, post a question. If we could always take a look at it too, Denise, whenever you have time, I could hop on your screen or you could share your screen and we can help you figure it out.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that, I think I know I've responded to things, so I think it's there. But ladies, thank you so much. It was so much information. And again, we will be adding this to our YouTube channel. If anybody has any any other questions, I believe Victoria and Mary put their information in the chat. So feel free to reach out to them. If you need me to, I most certainly can loop you into them. But again, great information and we appreciate your time. Next month, we are going to be having the no nonsense business budget, know where you are and where you're going. And that our speaker for that event is going to be Frank Minetti from Minetti Standard. So again, another great topic and very timely since it's the beginning of the year. And I think that's it. Again, tomorrow is Member Connect. If you haven't registered, please feel free to do so. We have almost 40 people registered for tomorrow. So it's going to be a great packed room. And I think that's it. So thank you again, everyone. Awesome job. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
That's great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
Thursday.
Take care.
Thank
See you all
you.
soon. See you tomorrow morning.